Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. I am your host, June Archer. This is the Winner Circle, Motivate You. My guest today is a fashion designer, stylist extraordinaire. She goes by the name of Murph, but I want to introduce her as Timeekah Murphy, aka the designer of Alani Taylor. Murph, what's going on? How you been?
I'm good. I'm good. I appreciate you inviting me on and welcoming me like you have. I'm excited to be here. I'm ready to rock.
Man, listen, I'm super excited to have you. I have seen your growth and development over the years when I was first introduced to you, and just to see what you've been doing has been super inspirational. I want to start by asking you, what is and what has been the inspiration behind Alani Taylor? For those that don't know.
The inspiration is my daughter. So although like I've been designing for about to be 11 years. Oh, come on. I'm sorry. I do not know how to stop these calls right now, but going back into it, I've been designing for 11 years. I started when I was in the army, and to fast forward from that in 2016, after my daughter was born, I transitioned over to Alani Taylor. We named my daughter Alani Taylor Murphy, and just her name in itself was like elegant and powerful. And at the time, I was doing streetwear. So when I decided to rebrand and name it after my daughter, I was like, something about what I'm doing has to change because the name don't fit with the aesthetic. So I started doing like high fashion clothing and gowns and suits and things like that. But I was not in love with it at all. Like I love streetwear. I'm from the streets, from the Bronx, born in Newark, New Jersey. You know what I'm saying? So I still wanted to stick to like where I'm from. And so some way God allowed me to figure out how to take streetwear and high fashion and combine the two together. And that's where Lonnie Taylor comes from.
And you have been blessed to work with so
Oh, I cannot
many.
hear you.
Can you hear me?
Let me see. Hold on.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me?
Is there a way for me to? Yeah, we lost sound, audio. Let me see if I can put this in my ear. Maybe putting it in my ear will help. Can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Go out, come back in.
Gotcha.
All right, can you hear me now?
All right. All right.
You got me.
I
Can
can
you hear
hear
me or
you
no?
clear.
I
Mm-hmm.
can hear you as well. Trying to figure out if you get calls coming in, it's gonna continue to do that. I'm trying to figure out. All
Right.
right,
I don't know how to. Is there? Can I do this on my laptop?
absolutely. If you have Chrome, absolutely.
Chrome. Let's see. Okay. Because that's gonna bother me. and then I'm gonna end up getting mad at them for calling, and it's not even their fault.
Yeah, it's not their fault. And what I may have to do is,
Um,
um, yeah, if you could hop on this broadcast and I could
hold
edit it from there.
on. Let me go to. Yeah, that sucks. All right, see, she sent this to me to the phone, so now I don't know how to get in there from there. Copy. Let's see.
Let's see if you can copy that link.
Yeah. Um. I'm so sorry. I did not know that was going to be happening.
Nah, that's fine. We'll work around it. That's just the devil.
Right.
I don't give him no joy. We good.
All right. Let's see. Copy text. Okay. Let's see my emails. All right. There we go. So I have to leave out now from this one, right?
Yeah, and then hop in. I,
Okay.
I can edit it, so I'm not even. I ain't sure.
Okay. Awesome.
There we go.
No more interruptions.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Uh, let me see something. I want to make sure you hear echo in yours. I'm gonna go out and come back in myself.
Okay.
Make sure that we're good.
Oh, that's better.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
I feel like I got it on your end.
Echo.
Yeah.
Let's see what we could do. See if this works.
We're gonna be all right.
Um,
1 2 1 2. Yeah, I don't hear one now. So
I can hear you still. I'm gonna try to connect
AirPod.
my laptop to my earphones.
Okay.
Let's see. Everything else coming up but these Bluetooth. Oh, there we go. Let's see. Can you hear me? Is that
I can hear,
better?
yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, awesome. So I have that in my ear.
All right, perfect. All right, let's make magic happen then. We'll start from the top.
Okay.
I'm already recording, so I'm just gonna start from the top, and then we gonna go. All right. Tell me when you're ready.
I'm ready. I'm ready.
All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Motivate You, the Winner Circle here. I am your host, June Archer, and today I have a celebrity designer by the name of Timeekah Murphy. She is a celebrity designer born in Newark, New Jersey, raised in the Bronx, of course, the home of hip hop. She has started her own line called Alani Taylor. It is a high end fashion streetwear brand that she launched in 2016, and we are here to talk about it. Please welcome to the show, Miss Murph, aka the owner of Alani Taylor. What's up, Murph? How you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I appreciate you having me. Thank you. I'm excited to be here, man. Let's rock and roll.
Man, listen, I want to ask you, what was the inspiration behind Alani Taylor?
The inspiration is I can't put that on nothing but my daughter. The birth of my daughter in 2016. After she was born, I named my brand after her. And just her name alone was like really powerful and elegant. And so prior to that, while I was serving in the military, I started a streetwear brand called Prodigy Life Clothing. And from there, all I did was streetwear. So in 2016, when I rebranded and named the brand after my daughter, I knew that I had to transition because streetwear and Alani Taylor just didn't mix together. So some way, somehow, I managed to find how to bring high fashion and streetwear together to bring what we have for Alani Taylor. Like what's behind me is like to some it'll be high fashion, but when you turn it around, it's streetwear. And so that's how I kind of got the identity for what Alani Taylor looks like, and the inspiration was none other than her.
It's a beautiful thing. And you have since had the opportunity to work with and be seen by so many. I want to talk about it, how these things came to place. Beyonce, Cardi B, Nick Cannon, Tyra Banks, the baby, having an opportunity to do something with his video. Talk
Yeah.
about one or two of these and how the magic actually happened.
Well, I'm gonna talk about my two best ones. Of course, Beyonce. That started. I had let when I got out the army in 2016. I moved to LA in 2018, I believe, and from there, like prior to me leaving, as I'm packing like my house to go to LA, I have a prayer box that I keep, and in that prayer box, I wrote one of my prayers was I want to design for Beyonce. Not knowing when it was going to happen or anything like that, but that was one of the things that I knew if I got the opportunity to do this as a fashion designer, I made it. You know, that was like my pinnacle. Fast forward 2018 came. I was working with someone called Brittany, and I helped her start this brand called Deviant Levy. And so we kicked that off together, and we were making like lingerie, but in a fashion wearing way, out of ropes. And so that caught the eye of Zarina Akins, which is Beyonce's stylist. She asked for a few of the pieces. No, actually, This was for Lion King. She called up, or she emailed Brittany while we were both out of town working, and was like, she needed something for Beyonce. Of course, we didn't know what it was for, but we ended up having to make like 15 pieces for them within 4 days. And it takes like a day just to make one of them. And we had to get that done. We got no sleep for 4 days, literally. And boom, came Lion King. That kind of got people seeing just deviant though. So even though I had accomplished something like that with this person, I didn't feel like Alani Taylor was being seen. Um, and so I kept working. And during this time, which is crazy, that while I should have been celebrating that I just was a part of a project for Beyonce, like I went into depression. And because I was like, I didn't feel like I had did anything. Like I came into fashion to make a name for my daughter, and all you really heard was deviant, deviant, deviant. And at that time, people didn't even know I was a part of deviant and a part of the designing and everything. And so I didn't get no satisfaction out of that. A year later, we did a fashion show called the Zenith Experience, where Nick Cannon hosted it for us. So many people came out, and that whole collection, um, Zarina saw it again, and she was like, "Give me the whole thing." After that, she didn't tell us what it was for, and so fast forward a whole year later, this lady had bought the white dress that I did. She bought the white dress, and then Black is King came out, and we're like, holy shit. So that day that Black is King came out, and I realized like this is what I she bought the dress for. I literally damaged my vocal cords. Like I screamed so loud when I saw it on the screen, because I had finally got to a point where it said Beyonce, Alani Taylor. So there I was like, this is what I've been working so hard for. Um and yeah, that was my pinnacle moment where I said I can't stop now, so from that, of course, more eyes got on Alani Taylor, and then the baby came. Yeah, Cardi B came after that. All the other people, but the baby came from somebody just tagging me in his video that he posted on Instagram, and I wrote back on the comment, but then me being from up, like, we're go-getters, I was like, I'm not about to sit back and wait for this man to respond to me, so I personally DM'd the baby myself. And I was like, hey bro, like I saw somebody tag me in your post. If you're still looking for a designer, check out my work. If you approve of it, I would love to design the dress for your daughter. That's how that came about. That was probably one of the most stressful times of my life as a designer, because literally he wrote back, we're sitting, because I'm preparing for a fashion show, so a photo shoot, I'm sorry, with my team. We're like at this taco spot, and I'm not thinking nothing. I DM him, I go back to eat, and I got my daughter with me, my team with me, we're planning, and this man DM back. So I was like, yo, he wrote back, you know what I'm saying? And everybody was like, what are you going to do? So he said, can you get here at 9 o'clock or something the next day? And I was like, yeah, I already got my flight. I had no flight, bro. I was just speaking it into the universe. I was like, yeah, I could be there. I ain't had no flight, no nothing. So now we're scrambling, trying to figure out how can I get from Atlanta to LA and get there by 9 o'clock in the morning. Mind you, it's like 9 o'clock at night right now. So he was like, I said I could get there at 11. He was like, nah, that's too late. I need you by 9. So we're driving to the airport with literally what I had on my back. I had my assistant at the time. I said, take my daughter back to her mom. Take me to the airport, take my daughter back to her mom, and I'll see you guys when I get back. I was on a plane with slippers. I had nothing. Slippers, a hoodie, and sweatpants on. He was like, whatever you need, let me know. I had just moved from LA, and so my assistant from LA was still there, so she had a sewing machine. I said, take the sewing machine to the baby's hotel, leave it there, and bring whatever you can bring to make me make this work. The baby himself, he FaceTimed me. So now I'm like, okay, this shit is real now. Like he FaceTiming me, and the way he FaceTimed, he didn't even get on the phone at first. He had I think his driver was on the phone, and I was like, who the hell is this? And the dude was like, call for the baby, and he handed the baby the phone, and I'm like,
that's how we doing it. How we doing it?
Right.
Wow.
And I'm like, okay. So he's like, yo, what? Tell me what you need. I said the only way we can make this work is if you go down to the fashion district for me, grab the fabric, and when I get there, I just get to work. And he dead ass did it. He went. His driver took him downtown. He went into every store I told him to go into, pick the fabric and everything. I landed at 9 o'clock that morning, drove to his hotel, and I literally the award, because this was for the Grammys. The awards started at 1. I landed at 9. I had to be done by 12. So I had to make a whole glamorous dress for his daughter because she couldn't go on the red carpet. So he made his own red carpet for her at the hotel on the rooftop. And it was probably the worst stressful day of my life because I was like running out of time. The sewing machine stopped working like 10 times. And I'm like, this the devil. Like, you not about to make me fail. And I think from that, the baby, like actually the day after, he was like, yo, I would never forget, you made this day very special for my daughter. Like, your ambition, your dedication, how you just made this happen. Like, I rocks with you. After that, he hit me up and he was like, yo, I got a music video that I want you to do. I know you can do it. And so I got the opportunity to design for him for the Lonely video. So I had to make some stray jackets and everything from scratch. He had a doctor's outfit and some other stuff. So I got to be the designer on that. And it's been dope ever since. We've talked about doing a collaboration together for clothing wise. We've talked about me being the head designer for his label for his artists and things like that. So just waiting for the universe to align everything. But those are my two dopest moments in fashion so far.
No, I love it, Murph. I appreciate you sharing those stories. You talk about going into a dark place, talk about depression, you talk about the twists and turns, right? A lot of people don't understand that no matter what industry you may be wanting to find success in, there's hard work, there's determination, there's blood, sweat, and tears that go into it. Um, for you, what allows you to walk in your dopeness during those times when you struggle? You talk about Alani being your muse, but what are other things that you lean on that allow you to get through those moments? Because you just shared two moments with us that you really had to step out of yourself and step out of your comfort zone to actually be able to achieve uh, what would be greatness at the end of those moments. How do you walk in your dopeness?
My daughter, I can't take away from the strength that my daughter gives me. I growing up as a kid, I didn't have a mother or a father. I was molested my whole life from the time I was 2 years old to 16 years old. And we just didn't have like the family structure that is needed, and most Black communities go through it. And I have two other brothers, and for me, I wanted to be the opposite of where I came from. And if I ever brung a child into this world, I wanted her to experience everything that I didn't, and give her the love that I never received from my mother or father. And so anytime I get into like a stressful place, I always think about, like, I put my daughter's name on this. So that alone, I can never stop, because then I will be giving up on my daughter. But the strength comes from knowing, like, if I can go through what I went through as a kid, this ain't nothing. I done been through that. I was in the military for 12 years, got wounded in the military. Like, if I can pass all of that, these things, something that I'm doing that I love, I can do anything. You know what I'm saying? So that alone, like, I always have to tell myself, like, whatever you touch will turn to gold. And because although people do uplift me and everything, that does nothing unless you feel that yourself. So I always try to speak positivity into myself, even at my worst moments, to just know that the day won't last forever, and the worst doesn't last forever. Like, whenever there's a storm, something's gonna come after that, that's greatness. And so I really just try to mentally make sure that I know that this won't last forever, but my strength really comes from my daughter. Sees me now, she's understanding things, and I can't let her down. Like, I never want her to go through anything that I've been through as a kid growing up, and I try to be the best parent that I possibly can because of her.
Now, along this journey, you have crossed paths with numerous amounts of individuals. You just shared that you didn't grow up with two parents in a household, but I'm certain there have been people, I like to call them road signs
Yeah.
along this journey. What words of inspiration can you give to someone today who's watching or learning that you were given that can allow them to overcome any obstacles or roadblocks that they see in front of themselves so that they can overcome these challenges in order to find their greatness or walk in their dopeness?
The only thing I can say is really you really just have to believe in yourself. Because I'm that person that I really don't like to give advice, but I still find myself having to, because I feel like no matter what somebody says to you, it's you that have to know that. Like you can tell me right now, Murph, you're great. Don't ever stop. You're gonna be something, anything. But if I don't believe that, your words mean nothing to me, right? I have to know that you are great, you are worthy, you are this and that, in order for me to even wake up every day. So I just try to tell people to just find their inner peace, to find their inner greatness for themselves, because my words or your words or anybody else's words would not do anything for anybody until their heart is completely in knowing who they are and knowing what they're capable of, and the gifts that God gave them. Because like I said, at my highest points, I should have been celebrating, but I was at my lowest points because I didn't feel that greatness that everybody was seeing from me. And I had to get to a point where I started meditating, and just speaking affirmations into myself. But and that's really all I could tell people is like, speak to yourself as if you know who you are and you know your greatness. And that's what's going to get you through.
I love that, Murph. I love that, and I hope that anyone who's watching, listening today, takes that, and understands it comes from self first, right?
Yes.
Knowing who you are and who you are. So I appreciate you sharing that. I want to talk about uh, the Alani Taylor Style House in Atlanta. What can we expect from this amazing place that you have curated? If we walk into this place, if we have the opportunity to be in Atlanta, what can we expect?
I'm trying to create a vibe. I don't like to be placed inside of a box or anything like that, and that's what I live by. Even in my craft, like I don't like people putting any type of label on what type of designer I am, what clothes that I create, or anything like that. I'm not one of those. um I guess you know how designers come and they have like this whole collection put out and everything is in sync from color to pattern. I'm not that person. I create how I feel, and that's pretty much what you'll get whenever you do come to the my showroom, is to see like any and everything. Like if it came from my brain, you're gonna see it. An experience, because I have a company called the Zenith Experience, and that's what we do. Like we give people a show. Like when you walk out of here, I want you to be like, yo, that joint is dope. And I want you to be able to be my walking advertisement and tell somebody else like, you have to come there. And I'm actually working on that. Like this showroom is just for people to come and do pulls from, and just see what's up and coming that I may have not put out on the runway or on the website and things like that. But the actual style house, I'm praying to God that that happens before 2022 is over, where you actually get the vision of what Alani Taylor is about. And I know we're going into like a lot of technology, so for me, it'll be where people can come in and actually stand on a platform and see themselves in the clothes, electronically, I guess you would call it, or digitally, 3D almost, if that makes sense. So things like that, just an experience, and a vibe. So yeah.
I love it. Murph, where can we find you? Where can we follow you? And what can we do to support?
What we could do to support, I'm gonna answer that first, is buy the clothes, shop online. But no, you can find me on Instagram at Alani Taylor, CO, Facebook, I believe it's under Timeekah Murphy. But you'll, if you type in Alani Taylor, you'll see that as well. And just everything Alani Taylor, AlaniTaylor.com, where you'll find a high fashion street, which also on that website, it'll be able to redirect you to the street side, AlaniTaylorStreet.com. And all platforms is really Alani Taylor pretty much.
Murph, I appreciate you. Listen, I'm gonna be hitting you. I'm gonna have to jump in that DM so you could design something for me real nice. You know, a lot of
Whenever
good
you're
things
ready.
coming up. So I appreciate you, ladies and gentlemen. Please support, please like it, love it, share it. And like she says, go out and support, go support Alani Taylor Co. You know what it is. You know how hard creatives like Murph work hard to get to this point and beyond. So we really appreciate any love and support that you could give. That is Murph.
Absolutely.
I am June Archer. This is the Winner Circle Motivate You. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. God bless y'all. Peace.
Absolutely. Thank you.